Well, thank you for that update, Justin. And Sistrum Lansing's women's chorus is getting ready to make a major debut. But today, we're lucky enough to get a preview behind it all. And here to sing and speak music to our lovely ears are Megan, Amanda, Terry. Ladies, Happy New Year. Welcome. How are you?
Thank you. We're great.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And before we get into the chorus, tell us a little bit about the women behind Sistrum. Tell us who they are.
Well, Sistrum Lansing Women's Chorus has been together for almost 40 years now. It was started by Rachel Alexander, who is our founding mother, but also sings in the chorus as a place for local lesbians to be able to sing together. The chorus started with 7 to 10 members and has expanded now to almost 60.
Wow.
So we have 60 female identifying members in our ensemble, singing all sorts of choral music with a social justice mindset.
That is awesome, with that social justice mindset. We love that when we're not just using art to entertain, but to empower and to teach.
Exactly.
So of course that's what you're doing for your winter concert that we're gearing up here for, which will actually mark the Michigan premiere of Dr. Andrea Ramsey's Suffrage Cantata. So tell us a little bit about who Dr. Andrea Ramsey is and why this concert, why this is such a big deal that this is happening right in our backyard.
Dr. Ramsey did her work at Michigan State and got her doctorate there, and so we're excited to be able to do her work here and premiere it. It did premiere previously at Carnegie Hall, and so we're excited to do it here in Michigan now and to be able to do something with a composer who is not local but did her degree here and has become just super famous in the choral world and is a very well-known composer.
Absolutely, from Carnegie Hall right here to Lansing, and that just tells you the caliber of the work that we're going to see here on that stage. And we've got 2 people who will be there on that stage. This concert is about the voices of the revolution. Who are those voices that we're going to be hearing from?
Well, Voices of the Revolution is an 8-woman spoken word collective, and we have been providing spoken word and radical poetry for about 8 years now, and there will be 4 of us that are performing as a part of the narration for the program.
I love that, and especially with you saying that, Terry, this is, of course, there's a lot of music we're going to see on that stage, but there's a lot of history in this show too. Now, for all of you, was there anything that you came across that really opened up your eyes to the women's suffrage movement?
Absolutely. It was really interesting to learn more of the history that we don't get taught necessarily in school, and that's something Dr. Ramsey had spoken about in the work itself. For instance, we know that women got the right to vote in 1920, but what I didn't know previously was that that is only white women who got the right to vote in 1920, and it took until 1965 before black women also got the right to vote, and even later still for disabled individuals to be guaranteed legal protections.
That is right, absolutely. And so much of that history sometimes we leave out or we don't mention. So it's great that you are shining a light on this in such a beautiful and remarkable way as well. Now, Terry, of course, like you just mentioned, you're going to be narrating so a little something on that stage as well. Can you tell us a little bit more about your role too?
Well, each of the movements has a narrative component, so there's telling the story through the beautiful singing, and then just actually telling the literal story. So there are 4 movements, and it will take us all the way through the history of when the first women started talking about it over tea to the 72 years that it took before the 19th Amendment was ratified. So we have the honor of telling some of the story.
That is awesome, and you have such an honor and such a legacy that you're all charged and tasked with telling on that stage. And of course, after learning more about this history, what else do you want people to walk away with?
The second half of the program is based on what we're doing now. So the fight is not over. The striving for equality is not completed. And so the second half of the program is about how we have to continue to march, and that we will stand on the shoulders of those women that came before us to continue to fight for equality.
That is awesome. And of course, we have that concert information right here on your screen. Mark your calendars, January 17th and 18th at Dewitt High School. But don't go anywhere just yet. After the break, we're getting a little preview of the Suffrage Cantata, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.